The term financial mathematics will initially scare off most people, but don't worry, the subject is not as complicated as it sounds. Mathematics, which deals with money, for example finances, is a very broad field and consists of many small subject areas. You will encounter it everywhere in everyday life, when you go shopping or when you sign a contract or take out a loan. In the following web quests, escape rooms and quizzes, we will deal with the topics of rounding, percentages, fractions, interest, inflation, depreciation and taxes, and cash discounts. Rounding and rough calculation are basic requirements for successful calculation when it comes to your money. Imagine you go shopping in a supermarket and you have €10 with you. In order to know what you can afford, you first have to round up or down the prices of the products you want to buy in your head and then estimate them. You will always encounter fractions when a part of a whole is missing. In the context of money, you could say that fractions always go hand in hand with percentages. Let's say a product is reduced by 75%, which means in fractions that it only costs 1/4 of the actual price. Or just reduced by 3/4. Sounds complicated? Don't worry, fractions will be explained in more detail in the next chapters. One of the most important types of calculation in financial mathematics is the calculation of percentages. No matter whether it's about discounts in the supermarket, accruing interest, or simply the direct comparison of products, percentage calculations will always and everywhere cross your path as soon as you have to deal with money. Interest calculation is very closely related to percentage calculation. You can use interest calculations to work out how much money is given to you by a savings account or how much an installment payment for a new cell phone actually costs you. Interest is the price you pay for borrowing money. The amount of interest depends on the agreed interest rate. The interest rate is usually represented by the percentage sign, where percent means out of 100. It indicates how much interest is charged on the amount invested or borrowed. Inflation means that products become more and more expensive. This happens when people have more money than there are goods. For example, if people want to buy more cake because they have more money in their wallets, the cake can become scarce. The baker then raises his prices because people are willing to pay for it. The more prices rise, the more money loses value, and that means you get much less food and goods for the same money. That's why people want more wages, so that they can buy more again. But if, for example, the baker has to pay his employees more wages, he must at the same time raise the prices for the cake and his other goods again in order to be able to afford the increased wages. This creates a vicious circle. Loss of value of new goods, on the other hand, is something different. It is about items losing a lot of value as soon as you buy them new. For example, it can be assumed that a new car has already lost 50% of its value when new within the first 3 years of purchase. So after 3 years, a car is only worth half of its original price. That's why it's often smarter to fall back on second or third hand cars and goods. A discount is a price reduction on products and services. Everyone knows the colourful signs that catch your eye when you go shopping are supposed to draw your attention to the fact that you can save money here because something has been reduced in price. Cash discount is a discount or a price reduction that the supplier of a good gives to his customer for the quick payment of the invoice. Taxes are money paid by citizens to the state. The state uses this money to perform certain tasks, for example, roads, schools, sport facilities, hospitals, and much more are built.